Hello guys, welcome to the second video of this course and good morning because it's quite early for me to shoot the video. Okay, so in this tutorial we are going to see how to fetch data from Firebase. Okay, in our previous tutorial we were building a notebook application and we saw how to upload data to Firebase. Now in this tutorial we are going to continue building that application and see how to fetch those uploaded data from Firebase real-time database and display them within our application. Okay, so I hope the task is clear to all of you. Now keep watching the tutorial till end until you learn. Do like the video, share the video, and of course if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. Okay, now without wasting any further time, let's get started. So friends, this is our project and it's the project from our previous tutorial. Now practically nothing is done about how to fetch data from Firebase. So we are going to start everything from scratch. Okay. So our first task will be to build a database reference. Now what is a database reference? Database reference is actually a pointer to our Firebase database. Okay. So let us do it. Now we don't need to recreate it once more because we have already done that previously. So this is our database reference. Now let us make it public. So let us do that. Just paste it here. Copy this part. Paste it outside the onCreate method. And we are done. Okay. So this actually points to the root of our Firebase database. Okay, so it actually points to the root of our Firebase database. Now we are going to use this reference to fetch data from Firebase. So let us do that. So for that you just need to write reference dot add child event listener. So basically we are attaching a listener to our reference. Okay. So now what is the function of this listener? This listener actually keeps a track on each of your child node that is present on your Firebase real-time database on the location where your reference is created to. Okay, so let me repeat it. Your reference is actually pointing to the root of your Firebase database, right? So in our case, it will keep a track on each of the child that is present directly under our root Firebase database. Okay, so hope you got it. Now if you don't understand, you will probably understand at the end of the video. Keep watching. Okay, now within the parameter we will override child event listener interface. Okay, so you can see a bunch of method that is getting displayed or getting overridden. Okay, so there are 5 methods: on child added, on child changed, on child removed, on child moved, and on cancelled. So all of this method basically gets called for a child node under certain cases. So I'm going to explain you soon. So let us start with the first one. So on child added. This method actually gets called for each of the child node when your application first get launched. Okay, so when your application gets launched, for each of the child node, this on child added method gets called, and the value of that particular nodes can be fetched using this data snapshot object. Okay, and at a future point of time, if a particular node is re-added to your database, then for that particular node also this method will again get called. Okay, so basically we are going to use this method only to fetch data from Firebase. Now there are 4 other methods also. So what is on child changed? On child changed gets called if a value of your particular child node get changed at a future point of time. Okay, so from the name you can understand. So if a value of a particular node gets changed, this method will get called, and the value can be fetched using this data snapshot object. Now what is on child removed? So at a future point of time, if a particular child node gets deleted from your Firebase, so if you delete it manually, okay, or programmatically, then this method will again be called, and the value of the deleted node can be fetched using the data snapshot object. Now what is on child moved? So if the position of a particular child node get changed within your database, then this onChildMove method will again be called. Okay, so if a position of a particular node gets changed, then this method will again be called, and similarly the value can be fetched using this data snapshot object. Now this is the last one, onCancelled. So when this method is called, so it may happen that this listener, that is the add child event listener, may fail to work under certain conditions. So think that if you don't have an internet connection or the server goes down, then this listener fails to listen. So under those cases, this onCancelled method gets called, and you can fetch the reason from this database error part. Okay. Now we are going to just fetch data from Firebase. So we are going to use this onChildAdded method, which gets called for each child node under the location where our listener listens to. So in our case, the listener is add child event listener. Okay. Now we will use this data snapshot object to fetch the value. Okay. So just write data snapshot dot get value. Simple. So this actually returns the data snapshot value, but we are not done yet. Within the parameter, we need to pass something. So in our case, we were uploading objects of node class. So this is our node class, and we were uploading objects of this node class. So when our value will be fetched from Firebase, it will also be fetched in the form of objects of this node class. Okay. So within the parameter, we will write node.class. Okay, and store the value in a node object. So let it be node. So if you uploaded string to Firebase, then you just need to write string.class. And if you uploaded integer, just write integer.class. If you uploaded float, write float.class. So this is the ultimate concept, and store that accordingly in a variable, right? So this actually returns the value of the fetched node. Okay. Now let me open my Firebase console and let me explain you. So this is our Firebase console, and you can see under the root we are having two nodes. One is this node and other is this node. So basically they are the childs. Now within this child we are having this value. One is the date and the text. And we uploaded this in the form of node objects. Okay. And in the second we are having a similar type of case. So this is the node and this is the ultimate entire value. So when our value will be fetched, this node will get returned, and the value of this node can be fetched using the getValue method. Okay. So this getValue method. So the value, that is the date and the text, will be returned entirely by this getValue method, and we are casting that value to node.class, which means this date and text will be stored in the attributes of this node class. So this is a node class and we are having date and text. So this date will be stored in our node class date attribute, and this text will be stored in our node class text attribute. So we are actually, this is the magic, right? This is the magic. So we are actually getting the entire stuff in the form of node class. Okay. And we are storing it in node variable. So it is the most interesting property of Firebase real-time database when you are fetching values. So we can fetch value in the form of objects and write to in the form of objects. Now let us display the value. Okay. So let us go to this part. Sorry. And let us display a toast message. Okay. Now within this, write just the message. So the message is node.getText, and let us print the date also, node.getDate. Okay, and it's done. Now in our next tutorial we are going to display these values in the form of recycler view. Okay, so now let us test our application. So if our application gets successfully launched, then as soon as our application launches, we are supposed to get some toast messages, and in our case we will get two toast messages just one after the another. So why 2? So if you see my Firebase real-time database, then just under the root element, we are having 2 child nodes. Therefore, we will get 2 toast messages corresponding to each child node. Okay. So now let us test our application. I am just going to use my virtual emulator. So I am going to choose it. Now let us wait. Okay friends, so our application is just about to get launched and here it is. So you can see there are 2 toast messages that are getting displayed, okay, one after the another. So let me close the application and check it once more. So let us do that. So this is our application. Oh, see, this is the first node and this is the second node with the corresponding date, okay, and time. So you can see that we are successfully able to fetch data from Firebase, and as there are 2 root elements, we are getting 2 toast messages one after the other. So this shows that we are successfully able to fetch data from Firebase. Okay, so I hope that you learned how to fetch data. So please do like the video, share the video, and don't miss out my third video, because in the next tutorial we are going to see how to display this fetched data in a recycler view. Okay, so all of you guys, don't forget to subscribe my channel and see you in the next video soon. For now, have a nice day. Thank you.